Hi, and welcome to Great Getaways. It's the autumn of the year, and I can't think of a better place to take you than Michigan's Upper Peninsula. It's going to be a fun and interesting show, so stay with us.
Production of Great Getaways is made possible by Rocky's Great Outdoors. Located in Burton, Michigan, Rocky's carries a complete line of motorcycles, snowmobile, camping, and hiking gear, including canoes and kayaks. State Building Company, serving Mid-Michigan for over 50 years. With quality windows, insulation, roofing, and siding, including complete residential and commercial remodeling. Forward Corporation, operating over 30 complete convenience centers, motels, and restaurants across Northeast Michigan.
Welcome to Great Getaways as we highlight the beauty of the Upper Peninsula. We begin by crossing the mighty Mac and head for camping, canoeing, and fishing in the Hiawatha National Forest. For excitement, we take to the trails around Manistique on our ATVs, and then spend some time in Gulliver, exploring the Lake Michigan shoreline. After you have taken in the beauty of the UP, you may wish you had your own piece of paradise. Stay tuned to the end of the show when you will get your chance to pick your favorite cottage, perhaps to own or retire to. Let's get up and away on our UP tour. Everyone knows that the only way to get to the UP is to cross the scenic Mackinac Bridge. But there is more to this bridge than meets the eye, as we would discover when we spoke to Mackinac Bridge Authority Director Bob Sweeney.
The bridge was built, it was open to traffic in 1957. They started construction in May of 1954. But yeah, it never gets old, that's for sure. I even though I live and work up here, when I see the towers coming up 75, it certainly, I feel like I'm home. Mm-hmm. It spans water about 4.5 miles. The bridge itself, the project itself, is 5 miles long. But it's the longest suspension bridge in the Western Hemisphere and third longest in the world.
What is it like for people that have never been on it, they're going to be crossing? Is there anything they got to worry about?
No, absolutely not. In fact, it's number 2 on the 7 wonders of Michigan. It's a beautiful structure. The big thing you have to be aware of when you're crossing the bridge, you have beautiful scenery on either side of you. Just the driver has to pay attention. To the road. That's good. We have a lot of maintenance activities going on. The bridge is 56 years old now, so we're doing a lot of maintenance activities on the bridge. So in the summertime, that's primarily when we're doing this type of work, and so we have a lot of crews and lane closures out there. So we really encourage people to pay attention, give the vehicle in front of them enough space so they can stop if they need to.
And a lot of big trucks going across too. Now, I understand that a bridge like this, it does flexes.
Yeah, a suspension bridge is pretty much like a rope bridge across a ravine. A rope bridge across a ravine is a suspension bridge, a type of suspension bridge. So they're really designed to move. They flex with the wind and with the weight. They're designed to accommodate a lot of movement on the bridge.
Now, is this something people feel when they go across?
No, as long as you're driving across, you really can't feel the movement. But if you happen to be in one of the lane closures where we do stop traffic, you will notice that the bridge is moving.
Now, I know we're on the North Shore. A beautiful spot that we're in. There's a little park here that overlooks this. This is probably a good spot for people to come to and get their photographs.
Oh, absolutely. That's why we built this. We built this facility so people can take a good picture of the bridge or away from the traffic. Very nice scenery. We have a Bridge View Park building inside that kind of gives a history of the area, transportation in the area from the French settlers on to current day today. So it kind of has a brief pictorial history of the bridge in the Straits area transportation.
Bob not only gave us some great information on the bridge, but took us all the way to the top and then all the way to the bottom of this magnificent structure.
A lot different view from down here.
Yeah, it is a lot different view. You're almost at water level looking up, so it's kind of a striking view as well. I like this view as well from the down below as well as I do from the top.
And this is something, even though you may not be able to get out here on the anchorage, you can bring a boat out here and go right under the bridge yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. All the ferry lines that go to Mackinac Island, they make a scheduled trip several times a day, usually 2 or 3 times a day, where they'll come underneath the bridge and they do a little sighting tour of the bridge, and is very popular. Those boats are usually always filled.
Now that was an incredible way to start our trip. And now we were off to our first destination, the beach on Lake Michigan, where we would meet with some UP residents who would give us information for a fun-filled week of activities while we sat around a campfire enjoying the waves and wind at the top of the lake, northern Lake Michigan.
What are some of the attractions you would point them towards?
A lot of times up to the Seney Wildlife Refuge, nice place to drive through. Also over to the Big Spring, 16,000 gallons of water per minute coming through the bottom of the spring. Fayette is another really pretty area. That's a whole day excursion over there. And a lot of times people come up, they want to go fishing. I send them up north over to Thunder Lake or Coal Lake or Indian Lake. Or there's a lot of inland lakes, and there's also charter service available for the Big Lake, which is Lake Michigan.
Well, when you come into town, obviously you do need a good place to stay in, and we've got quite a few different ones here, and I know I have a couple of motel owners with me right now. Dennis, maybe you could give us an idea. Are there a lot of different motels and different price ranges?
Absolutely. There are places to stay that anywhere from the small mom and pop place on to the larger chain motels. We've got campgrounds in the area, just a variety of nice places to stay.
One of the things you want to be here for is the fabulous color that's going on. And Connie, maybe I'll turn back to you again here and tell us about some of this great color.
Well, as everyone normally knows, this is a time of year that all of our trees are changing color. Over at the Chamber, we have different maps for going on different walking tours, biking tours, or driving tours. And it's basically mostly around Indian Lake area, then back up in the Seney area. And one of the best places I found in this area is to go up Highway 13. You go up Highway 13, come across 28, and then back down M94. And as you can then back down 94, there are also, that's where Coal Lake is, and a lot of these smaller lakes and campgrounds where you can just drive in and see the different trees as you're driving into these places.
An uncomplicated approximately 2.5-hour drive from the Mackinac Bridge through the forested Upper Peninsula brings you to the Widewater Campground in the Hiawatha National Forest off Highway M13. The campground, nestled along the Indian River, is open May 15th through September 30th. Choose from one of the 34 large, forested, well-spaced sites for your camp. After putting up the tent and setting up camp in the private, secluded area, you'll be ready for a relaxing camping experience. There are tables and grills at each site, and the campground has approved drinking water pumps and vault toilets conveniently located throughout the campground. It is the perfect let-in for the Indian River. The Indian River was designated as a wild and scenic river in 1992 and is the most used recreational river in the entire Hiawatha National Forest. It is a gentle, free-flowing river, and the 36-mile stretch beginning at Fish River, flowing to Indian Lake, has been marked as a canoe trail where the canoeing and kayaking is excellent and the varied scenery is beautiful, from canyon-like banks and sharp curves to broad marshland reaches. As you course down the river, you will find it to be 30 to 50 feet wide and 1 to 3 feet deep, although it takes some skill to maneuver around whatever nature has left in the way. The Indian River has little or no rapids, and due to numerous springs feeding it late in the season, this river is known for some of the best water flowage of any river in the Upper Peninsula. Once a working river during the log driving era, now the Indian is a great river for a day paddle or a multi-day canoe trip, where you'll drift past northern hardwoods, mixed conifers, rolling hills, and marshlands. On longer trips, enjoy stopping for a respite along its shores.
As I paddle back down the Indian River, I'm kind of reflecting on my day. We've had just one of the nicest fall days out here you could ask for. The temperatures were in the 60s. The colors, as you can see, are just coming out. Nobody's around. If you like people, this is not the place to be. There's just not a lot of people around here. We came out today on this beautiful lake. I think we've seen one other guy. And we paddled around and explored the lake a little bit. Just thoroughly enjoyed ourselves, and now we're headed back.
Tom has certainly helped us discover a beautiful getaway on the river. The Bruno's Run Trail offers a 9-mile loop ideal for hiking and mountain biking in spring, summer, and fall, and snowshoeing in winter. This is an easy to moderate trail with some short, steep hills. The trail winds its way past a host of small lakes, runs over foothills, along overlooks, and through valleys. The many lakes and streams in the area and its variety of trees and other plants make it likely that while traveling the trail, you'll spot wildlife or signs of their coming and going. If you're alert, you are sure to have an enjoyable outing. Another way to behold the beauty of the UP is by land, and Manistique offers a fun way to do that. The Grey Wolf Lodge is conveniently located so you are able to enjoy the many attractions the Manistique area has to offer. One of those attractions is the direct access you have to the trails. Trails from Manistique are part of the extensive trail system that connects all over the Upper Peninsula. To satisfy your thirst for adventure, you will want to climb atop an ATV or ORV for the opportunity to ride through the seemingly endless trails and forest roads through the wilderness of the national and state forest lands. Trail riding is one of the fastest growing recreational activities in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Challenging trails for the off-road enthusiasts can be found throughout the Manistique area, including the Marquette Manistique ORV Trail.
The whole city trail system is signed with state-of-the-art yellow bar signs that are piggybacked off of the DNR signs that are out on the trail system in the county. And so it's very easy to come into town and follow the yellow bar signs. You can do it on a snowmobile or an ATV or a motorcycle.
Hundreds of miles of scenic and historic trails are ready for today's rider. Once out onto the easily accessible and well-marked trails, you will really enjoy your ride. The Marquette to Manistique Trail uses old railroad grades, country and forest roads, connecting with various trails for the 26.3-mile course. You will enjoy crossing the sparkling Manistique River and its tributaries as the route takes you over wooden bridges while you take in the beautiful scenery. There is nothing quite like the open air and rumble of the engines. You can enjoy all of this from the seat of your all-terrain vehicles. A day on the trails helps build an appetite, and there are fine places to satisfy your hunger like the Cedar Street Cafe in Manistique. Tom introduces us to its owner, Carla, and learns about the unique building that houses the restaurant.
You must be Carla.
Hi.
I'm Tom. It's good to meet you.
Hi, Tom. Welcome to Cedar Street
Well,
Cafe.
thank you very much. I'm so shocked. This is a beautiful little restaurant you've got here.
Thank you. And we have a lot of really nice things on our menu also.
Oh, nice menu. This is a whole lot different here.
Excellent. It's our history of Manistique, and inside we have our breakfast, lunch, and our dinner specials.
Good selection. I'll tell you what, I'd like to take it out to a table and sit down, and maybe you could come out and join us. We could talk about it a little
Excellent.
bit. All right.
Excellent.
I'll meet you out there.
See you there. Well, Tom, have you had a chance to look at the menu?
I'll tell you what, Carla, I've hardly had a chance to look at it at all because I've been spending my time looking around your building here, and it's so unique. Where'd you get your ideas at?
Well, we started out looking around town for an older building, and I found one that had a beautiful tin ceiling and original brick. So we just spent a lot of time refurbishing and pulling everything off and just kind of going with the flow of the colors of the building.
Tell us a little bit about what you've got on your menu.
Oh, we have all kinds of goodies. We specialize in really beautiful omelets in the morning, and we have lovely sandwiches, paninis, hot roast beef dipped in au jus, and our specialty is actually our Cuban panini, which seems to be our most popular.
Ah, looky here.
Wow, is there anything else I can get for you?
That should do it.
Alrighty, enjoy.
Thank you.
And this food is looking good. What do you say we get started?
All righty.
Just east of Manistique is the town of Gulliver, where you will want to stop for a visit to the Lake Michigan shoreline. As you walk through the cedar tree-lined path, you may not be prepared for the raw and powerful beauty of the lake and its shore. The wind-worn cedars, the aged silver-gray trees, are a backdrop to some of the most pristine, humble beaches along Lake Michigan. Lake Michigan takes its name from the Ojibwe word Michigami, meaning great water or large lake. It is second in volume of the Great Lakes and the only one that lies entirely in the boundaries of America. Those are facts you may not remember as you stand taking in vastness, observing the unique plants like the beach grass growing through the sand. The seemingly endless whitecaps roll continuously upon the sandy shore. Its sparkling waters and clean sands deliver the perfect escape as you take in its splendor, as Tom can attest to.
We've got quite a wind blowing. If you're lucky enough to be out when you've got this kind of wind, you'll see some beautiful waves coming in. It's a great time to be out here. Jane, you were mentioning you're actually, your relatives in your grandparents or whatever moved to this area some time back?
Yes, into the Curtis area. They were the first white people to settle there. My great-great-grandfather moved in with the Indians for the first winter and became friends with them, and they settled in the Curtis area. And that's 20 miles from my home, and I'm still living, my parents live in the area. Many of my family live in the area.
So you guys haven't moved too far from home? Huh?
Nope, we don't travel far.
Okay. Now, when he came up, did he actually come down the same trail then?
No, he came across from Canada.
Oh, did he?
From the Sault Ste. Marie. So he didn't travel this trail. He probably didn't even know this place existed.
Whenever you visit Michigan's Upper Peninsula, you have to drive down US 2 along the shores of Lake Michigan. Each beach is unique. Some days are good for swimming with the whitefish. Others are ideal for walking or spreading your blanket for sunbathing. Whether you visit on a day when the waves are gently lapping or they are thunderously crashing on shore, the lakeshore will await with its beauty. It stretches for miles. The Colwell Lake Recreation Area is located at the northern end of Schoolcraft County and about 25 miles northwest of Manistique. Colwell Lake is 145 acres with an excellent swimming beach and boat access. Camping, fishing, picnicking, and hiking are all popular recreation activities at Colwell Lake. For hiking, there is a nearly 2-mile-long loop trail that meanders along the edge of the lake and is surfaced to be fully accessible to people with mobility impairments. The trail is particularly stunning in the fall and also is popular in the winter as a snowshoe trail. You can take a nice stroll along the path or stop for some great fishing or photo opportunities. All you need are your hiking boots, a bottle of water, and a walking stick to enjoy this trail. You can walk it in a couple of hours, but you may want to stop at the benches along the way for a brief respite or to just enjoy the view. It is time to venture inland for some canoeing and fishing and be lulled by the lakes. The Corner Straits chain of lakes covers 477 acres in the lovely lake country of Hiawatha National Forest. These are good bass lakes for both large and smallmouth bass, and occasionally large northern pike are taken, as well as bluegills and sunfish. A sun-dappled forest of hemlock, red and white pine, maple, birch, and aspen surround the lake.
Well, this is a nice area out here in the Hiawatha, being that we've got this chain of lakes, which one of the things nice about that, people want to come out here, they can come out without having to worry about us being spotted like you have to on a river. Up here you can go into the lakes, you hit a little river, you go into another lake, and you just kind of work yourself along, and then you can come right back to the same spot again. I know another nice thing about it is we're never far from town. You get out here, you do a little camping, you're doing a little canoeing like this, weather gets bad on you, or you just get tired, you want to go back and have a nice meal, you can always go into town.
The lakes are clear with a hard sand bottom. Rainfall and snowmelt is filtered through sand and feeds clear spring water to the lakes. There is no better way to enjoy the clearness of the air the clarity of the skies, and the boldness of the forests than to be canoeing, kayaking, or fishing on the larger straits or corner lakes, or the number of smaller lakes they connect to. Nature lovers are beckoned to unspoiled beauty and recreation opportunities on the small connecting lakes of the Hiawatha National Forest. Beauty and tranquility await the paddler who ventures onto the chain of lakes. Enjoy the simple beauty of the Hiawatha National Forest as you paddle past conifers, northern hemlock, white and red pine trees, marshlands, and rolling terrain. You can drop a line and angle for some warm water fish. The lake offers good fishing for a wide variety of fish. Be sure you've got your Michigan fishing license on you. It is required to fish anywhere in the state.
Well, we really had a good time out there tonight. Appreciate you going with me.
Well, thanks for having me.
We went out there and I paddled around most of the time, and Al was trying for some of the fish, and we found some spots that looked good, and sure enough he got a bite off and put another lure on, and even before he got the lure on, the boat must have spooked a fish, and that jumped out of the water right next to the boat. And of course, once the lure was on, they were gone again. But as you can see, there's just some beautiful color up here. We've got one of these magnificent fall days here in the UP where it's just the sun's shining and the colors are bright, and it's a great place to be up to.
There are so many ways to enjoy the paradise called the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Can you imagine living up here? Our cottage country adventure would start at Grover's Real Estate in Manistique, where we would meet up with owner David Muxlow. As soon as we walked in the door, we were greeted not by Dave, but by the mounted head of a 1,200-pound bull moose, only in the UP.
Hey Dave, how you doing?
Hey Tom, good to see you.
Listen, you know, we come up here a lot and to show people all the great things they can do on their vacations, but there's a lot of people that like to actually settle down a little bit, have a vacation home up here, maybe retire up here. I know you got a lot of properties, you got a lot of clients that are looking right now. Could we go out maybe and take a look at some of these places and find out what these people are looking for?
Yeah, that sounds great. I'd be glad to take you, and there's lots to look at. There's a lot of good properties on the market right now.
Our first stop took us to a beautiful cottage on Lake Michigan, located on a secluded road where it was common to see eagles, moose, and bear.
This is the main living area.
Wow, now this is nice. Now one of the things I like about it right away is you're able to look right out onto the big lakes here. And you got all these windows up front.
The cottage had all the trappings of a UP getaway, including, you guessed it, a sauna. Now it was off to cottage number 2, or as they call them up here, camp number 2. Located on Indian Lake, this was a small, affordable lakefront with a 700-square-foot cabin on All Sports Lake, Indian Lake.
You won't see a beach along the front. They've got more of a break wall that's in here, and that's because it'll wash out if you don't have this kind of wall in here. But just a step off the dock and you're into a sandy beach, and you got a nice deck out here in front of the house that you can set out and kick back if you want to stay in the shade, or get out here if you want to enjoy the sun.
Last but not least is this gem, located on a peninsula with a different lake on each side. It doesn't get any better than this.
This piece is on Thunder Lake, 360-acre lake. Federal land mostly on this side, other than this little chunk of private, and then the other side has a few cabins and resort. There's a couple resorts on it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Wow. All right. I'll tell you what, for me this would be a tough choice. I'm seeing things I like in every one of them. You know what I'm going to do? I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll have a little contest here. Why don't you go to our website, vote on the one that you like. I'll tell you what I like later on, but you go ahead, get there, vote on the one that you like. We'd like to hear about it. We'd also like to hear from you. Tell us about your dream too.
If you would like to learn more about the Upper Peninsula after watching today's show, order a free information packet from the contact information on your screen. And don't forget to vote online for your favorite cottage, and while there, let us know what you thought about today's show. Use our travel planner for your own great getaway to the UP. And be sure to visit our Facebook page and Pinterest and Twitter accounts often. Your online adventure will be just the start of your next great getaway.
Well, the sun's gone down on another beautiful trip here to Michigan's Upper Peninsula. We based ourselves out of Manistique, but have been traveling throughout the area. One of the things it did was gave us an opportunity to come out here to the Wide Waters Campground and spend a couple of nights doing a little bit of camping. Great place to be out here, practically no one around.
It's incredible. You know, last night we got to listen to the loons, we listened to the wolf howl, to the full moon. It was just absolutely wonderful.
It's beautiful up here. The loons are calling, and we're just going to sit back here right next to this fire and have another great getaway.
You bet.
Production of Great Getaways is made possible by Rocky's Great Outdoors. Located in Burton, Michigan, Rocky's carries a complete line of motorcycles, snowmobile, camping, and hiking gear, including canoes and kayaks. State Building Company, serving mid-Michigan for over 50 years, with quality windows, insulation, roofing, and siding, including complete residential and commercial remodeling. Forward Corporation, operating over 30 complete convenience centers, motels, and restaurants across Northeast Michigan.
This is Don Riggs for everyone here at Great Getaways, saying so long until next time.